All right, what up, y'all? Peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house shall blessing y'all day. By His mercies, we're consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house shall's body, and two, we're naturally alive, man. And yeah, man, we're going to get into this, man, because you know what? I actually, we was actually going to talk about this a few weeks ago after it happened, man, but, I'm pretty sure if y'all haven't, seen it, if y'all did see it, y'all know the old, there was a little altercation, not a little altercation or argument that, Ja Rule, from Murder Inc., from back in the day, even before that Cash Money Click came up with Irv Gotti, Murder Inc., with the Cash Money Click, Mike Geronimo, then with DMX and stuff like that. All that. Then you have, Tony Yayo with G Unit 50. Then you have Uncle Murder, of course. But yeah, so it was on Super Bowl Sunday, and y'all probably seen this before, but if y'all haven't, and y'all know if y'all do follow the rap the world and things of that nature coming up in the some of y'all brothers and sisters from the 70s on up follow it, but from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s on now, if y'all probably didn't know, one of the most infamous rap beefs is, it's kind of even outside of rap beef, is Ja Rule and 50 Cent, or but that's neither here nor there. But we just gonna use this as a backdrop, man, as a kind of, because I ran into an older brother yesterday, and I was like, welcome, to my mom's school, because they had a show, of course. So and I seen this older brother, man. He's around probably in his 50s, whatever, man. We just started talking, but he had a nice jacket on, and he was kind of, I was like, damn, man, that's a nice jacket, man. And then we kind of started. He said, "Oh man, thank you, man." And he asked me, he said, "Man, why do you think it's a nice jacket, man?" Because I get compliments on this all the time. It was like a nice polo jacket. It was pretty much like a vintage. It was nice, but he said I get compliments all the time. I was wondering why. Then we started talking about that. Then we talked about what we're going to talk about now, of course, man. He said, "Yeah, man, a lot of times I dress like this, man, because listen, I can't act the way I used to, man, honestly." And we pretty much what we talked about here before, how the age isn't always wise in the generational warfare, man. Because a lot of times, with our people, man, the youth don't respect, the older generation, because how they act. Hence, this why you got the 50 Cents of the world, the Jim Joneses of the world, or the Whack 100s. Honestly, I'll throw Cameron in there sometimes too, but I won't throw him in here as much. But these are people that they represent certain archetypes that how the age is always wise. Honestly, how this pretty much, not that they don't have wisdom or they might say a lot of true things, but it's how they conduct themselves. Man, you're too old to be acting like this. Because I'm not even gonna lie, if somebody still dresses the same how they were, I really don't mind that too much. Because a lot of times people get on how Jim Jones dressed. I'm not even on that, honestly. I don't really care about that too much, because at certain times, that's what I said to the old brother yesterday. It's more of certain times the people, they always dress that way. So that's what it is. Now, certain times you do have a certain sector, older brothers, older men and women that try to dress really, be hip and keep up with the younger folks, and that's come on now. But certain times they always dress that way. But it's more the behavior, honestly. But but in this situation, what we're gonna watch, I wasn't mad at Ja Rule, honestly, because as a man, you got to protect yourself and stand your ground. But even Ja Rule realized, man, I'm too old to be acting like this. My conduct wasn't the best. And even out the both of them, the two, they seemed he seemed like the one that kind of matured from the situation. I remember, I think even back in the day, him and Mr. Faircon wanted to have him and 50 have a sit down and squash it, man. And Ja actually showed up, man. So I was kind of inklings that Ja was kind of the more mature one out of both of them. Even though Ja has his moments, but I think sometimes he just sometimes that's what the word says. The answer is not fool according to the Father, or this. That's like we say on here, let it slide. But this is what it is, man. But we gonna get this Isaiah 3 beforehand, because how a lot of times, it says how the older, well, no, we're not gonna get into that, because that kind of goes into something else. But we're gonna get into this. Yeah, so we see that Ja Rule and Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder and Ja Rule, but the full thing is right here. You see that, man, and it's like, even like, but see, this is why like the younger generation doesn't, because a lot of times too, we like, even on somebody like a 50, man, we let him get away. People let him get away with so much, man, and it's sad because he's way too old to be acting like that. Honestly, man, that goes with the 50 cents, the Whack 100, Jim Jones's, man. Like God's ears represent the archetype, man, and that's why Job says this. Honestly, let's get this in Job. How the also Wisdom of Solomon 4 goes into this, but how Job says, the age isn't always wise, and that was Elihu talking to Job's older friends, because what Job was going through, they thought was judgment, and Job, and Elihu kind of realized like they were talking like nonsense, because that's another story for another day. But when something bad happens to somebody, we automatically, especially us in the word, automatically think that's judgment, or we start to what's the word I'm looking for? Be accusers. That's not of the Most High house, shot. That's not like the spirit, man. That's a Satan. Like that's a the spirit of Satan, or like the serpent, because he's a accuser, or like the Pharisees, the serpent seed. That's an accuser type of spirit. But anyway, let's get this, man. It says, but there's a spirit in a man, and no, that's not it. Job 32 and